We're here. We're queer. And we're really good fun.
Welcome back to Screamers. We are in the studio ready to debrief not the Winter Olympics. You're in the wrong place. Although we have been watching a lot of Winter Olympics, but
I'm sure it'll sneak in somewhere.
We will maybe touch on that. But here we are, women's football. Let's go.
It's been a fun WSL weekend with all of us at the Arsenal Man City game yesterday, and then Jessie and I dashing across North London to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where there was a lot of star power. Obviously, the Screamers arrived and everyone went wild.
I think we were on the BBC broadcast.
But seriously...
No, time to be serious, guys.
Time to be serious. Madonna was there.
This is not a drill.
Madonna was there, and not only was she there, she was right behind us.
We didn't realise she was right behind us for the whole first half. We just kind of heard these rumours of her being present. We were like, oh, Madonna is in the stadium somewhere. And then we turned around and
caught the blonde hair and the big sunglasses. Like, oh, she's been behind us the entire time.
So that was a lot of excitement.
Do you think this is the first weekend we've had this season where we've all come back on a win?
I mean, probably.
Pretty much.
It might be.
Apart from poor old Nottingham Forest, but all our WSL teams are flying high.
Yeah.
That West Ham love's come back. I mean, it has to be with how few games Liverpool and West Ham won this season. I think it's very likely that it is.
What a day.
What a Abigail Byrne masterclass at the Arsenal Man City game.
The one thing I will say is I think she made bad calls both ways. So I think it was just like blanket bad.
Yeah, no, she's not biased. I think you can never ever accuse Abigail Byrne of being biased.
No.
You can accuse her of being quite bad at her job.
Not biased, just inept.
Like, it's so inconsistent, and it's actually just, I'll be honest, it's just unsafe.
Yeah.
Because players are going to start flying into things like, well, I got away with it before. And everyone's just going to see what they can get away with. And you never know when you're going to, A, get a card, or B, like, do something insane and hurt somebody, because who needs consistent refereeing?
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, it's just completely inconsistent, because at some points she was stopping the game every 30 seconds.
Yeah.
It was really making for a boring game with all the stoppages for fouls and then other things being left totally uncalled. For example, the controversial foul by Mariona on Lauren Hemp, which, if she'd called it, would definitely have been denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity and a red card for Mariona.
Yeah.
And you could see her kind of looking at it and contemplating and then just letting it go.
Yeah. Behind, do I want to give this red card this early? I don't think I do. It's fine. It wasn't a foul. Like, you can't be making those calls. Like, there's some things you can let go for the flow of the game. Something like that, you do have to blow. But aside from the refereeing, what do we think of the football?
I thought we looked really good, actually. I thought Man City looked a lot less confident than they did last week. And I would like to give some of that credit to Arsenal, but also I do think they just didn't turn up in the same way that they did last week. I think it's probably quite difficult with such a performance one weekend to then sort of have that pressure on you to mirror that the next weekend. And I think maybe they just got too much in their heads about it. I think we were lucky because we got to watch that game last week, and obviously everyone has gone away and thought about what happened there. And I think Arsenal actually really came into their own when they were on the counter. Like, I don't think we were that good when... Well, actually, I thought our press was really good, but I think our biggest success was when we were coming back on the counter. Mariona Caldente had space. I mean, that's how we got our goal, in fact, was kind of against the run of play and Mariona running into so much space and then being able to do that lovely pass to Olivia Smith, who then actually, that execution was absolutely perfect.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
there's not many players that would have finished that like that.
The composure to round Yamashita and then slot it home was so
perfect
good.
Timing.
Yeah, that was very good. No, I completely agree. I think you were really, really strong on the transition, which was probably a big difference with Chelsea last week.
Yeah.
Because they are trying to play a bit more possession football, but they couldn't really get the ball off Man City, whereas Arsenal's press was really much more well coordinated. They were winning the ball in kind of both dangerous and deep positions, and then they were able, like with Little and Mariona, to kind of send the players off on a really, really quick transition. I think Kim Little was really outstanding yesterday.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, how many games have we said that this season?
Yeah.
But I thought the press was really harrying City, whether or not Arsenal won the ball back, it was just not giving City, I think, that extra moment of freedom to create with the ball that they did have against Chelsea, that they've had in a lot of games this season. And you could tell because they were having to truly force it, which I don't think we've seen them have to do, at least for a good few games. And I thought the individual battles across the pitch were really, I think Ford had the best of Kasparov for most of that game.
I 100% agree, yes.
Her take-ons were fantastic. I think Livy Smith was really bright in the first half, faded a little bit, I think, in the second half in terms of her danger. But again, I think she had the better of her game. But my big props go to Lotte Wubben-Moy. I said before the game, she's the only Arsenal centre-back I've ever seen do a good job against Bunny Shaw. And she once again proved it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think it's a combination of Lotte just being really, really calm and confident, and then Bunny Shaw and Carolyn just looking completely kind of
really unsure.
Lost and unsure and tired as well. I thought Bunny looked very tired. Only Miedema and Hemp really looked up for it.
Yeah.
But I think without the coordination with Bunny and Carolyn, they just lacked that extra bit of kind of attacking outlet.
But I agree that I think a lot of that did come from Lotte as well. I think the composure she showed, when she decided to go in for the ball or when she just tracked Bunny, she was just making the right decision over and over again. And I thought, she had a great game.
Imagine being told, your job today is man mark Bunny Shaw. You're like, cool, this is going to be a great day at the office for me. But again, for the first time in a while, it was a game that Laura Blinkova-Brown couldn't really impose herself on. But I did think Sam Coffey looked very good when she came on.
I agree. Yeah, she was straight in the mix, wasn't she?
Straight in the mix with her scrunchie. The prediction is bearing fruit.
Thank you.
Not the grand slam event that I think many of us thought it might be. It actually just felt really scrappy at points. I'm not sure there was many clear-cut tackles or clearances. It just felt like everyone needed about 2 or 3 kicks to get to clear their lines. I don't know what it will do to the title procession. I don't think it will throw a major spanner in the works, but it is interesting, I think, for considering Arsenal just really struggled at the start of the season to win against top 4, and that's now 2-2 against the big ones. I think the rest over Christmas has done Arsenal a world of good.
I completely agree. I think we talked so much at the beginning of the season of how exhausted those players looked.
Yeah.
They never really regained that at all, whereas some of the players like Caldente's looking better since Christmas, Russo's looking better since Christmas. I think they were just run absolutely ragged.
Yep.
And then, I think that it's a shame because I think Arsenal need to be up against the wall to start really delivering and to start grinding and being ruthless. And once again, we've made that switch too late in the season. It's happened so many times. So I think it's a shame because it's really exciting now. But Man City, I think, are just too far ahead for anyone to catch them. I mean, stranger things have happened, but they would have to lose, I think, 3 games out of the next, whatever it is, 6, 7 games. They're not going to. Exactly. They're not going to. But I think we are putting ourselves in a really good place for a Champions League spot in that scrap between us, Man U and Chelsea.
Absolutely. I think as well with you having a game in hand.
Yeah, exactly.
One more win essentially takes you into second. So you've got a really, really strong chance at
and we've
qualifying.
got no more games against those top teams now for the rest of the season.
The other thing obviously you have to consider is you have 2 Champions League playoffs versus Leuven, and then if you get through that, you have Chelsea. And if you get through that, you have potentially Lyon or Wolfsburg or Juventus. So it's not going to be an easy run.
No, it's giving run ragged once again.
Listen, at least there's no summer tournament. They can have a nice long summer break in Ibiza.
Let's hope they deserve it.
I mean, all you can do, Arsenal, is just keep winning games, which is also all Chelsea can do. And they managed to do it on the second part of our... Well, we branded it the North London Daytrip. T-shirts incoming. But it was what was my first trip to the Spurs Stadium? Was your first trip to the Spurs Stadium?
It was mine as well.
I could not believe that when you two said that this week. Where have you been?
Well, where have the women have not been there that often. I'm not going to go watch Spurs men.
I guess you didn't come to the North London derby when we lost.
No.
Well, I'm really glad we made it there. Shout out to Edie for the tickets, my mate, because otherwise I don't think I would have thought about the possibility of doing this little trek. But it was really, really fun, despite the pissing rain.
Oh, God, yeah. When we got out of the station, it was torrential downpour. Thank God it's so close to the overground. But pints in the seats, can't complain.
Can't complain.
Nice.
Pints in the seats, good vibes, funny mascots, great music. Madonna.
What more do you
The
need?
thing is, there will never be a better game now that Madonna was at that game. Like that's peaking, in my opinion.
Well, she might be back for more.
That's true.
It really felt with her in the building that there was going to be a Spurs goal.
Surprise performance. Oh
No, not no. She was in the hospitality drinking champagne. I don't think she was coming out to see performance. But Spurs played well in the first half and they had chances. I mean, was it Olivia Holt hit the bar? Sinja Gapsett had a few good opportunities. They weren't sitting back and
Rolling over.
waiting for Chelsea to come to them. And I think Chelsea, Sonia, while I don't think she is ceding to any of the external noise and pressure, picked a very safe 11, I would say. Like Berman left back, Kira Walsh, Erin Cuthbert, Shoka Nuskin in the midfield is a steady, reliable setup.
Yeah, I know captain is injured, but I do think having Nuskin in that midfield just adds experience and stability, which they probably needed after 2 really bad results. But yeah, it was miles apart really from the reverse fixture where Spurs played Chelsea at their home and they were just defending for their lives in that fixture. And we were like, can they hang on? Can they hang on? Maybe, but they're definitely not going to score because they can't make it out their own half.
Yeah.
And yeah, in this game, it was really good to see them like actually able to get up the pitch with, as you said, Jessie, Gapsett and Holt having like really, really decent chances.
Yeah.
So that was like quite cool to see. I think Martin Ho can definitely be pleased with the way he set up and the way the team played. But at the end of the day, they suffered from not being able to defend set pieces.
Yeah.
They looked pretty abysmal on the set pieces. And then obviously Kiki Kizzy Walsh's spicy strike from the corner. Yeah, that's basically exactly how she scored against them last time for her second goal for Chelsea. So she loves scoring against Spurs. They should have been aware of that danger.
Yeah, the set pieces I feel like have been a thing all season where they just don't look comfortable defending them. They just can't. They take in like 2, 3, 4 stabs to clear the ball. You're like, that is going to punish you against a team like Chelsea who has quality everywhere.
Yeah,
but I think it was they did play interesting football at points. And Gapsett, wow, I mean you can tell she is definitely still adjusting to the WSL, like different pace, different physicality. But my God, she is the diamond in the making. The vision of some of her passes. There was one where I was like, when you're sort of watching, you're like, oh, okay, I can assume it's going to be one of these 3 players. And then threads the ball through about 4 Chelsea players across field switch. You're like, where did that come from? I had that is insane.
Also, I think there is an element for the Spurs new signings that they haven't got that like heaviness and weight of what it's been to be a Spurs player for the last 5 years. So they have that confidence to do that against Chelsea, whereas like a previous player might not have that. It's the same kind of Chelsea-Barcelona curse where the new Chelsea players just don't really care about that because they haven't been part of it. And I think that is in itself so valuable.
Yeah.
I think also the confidence of seeing teams beat Chelsea this season.
Yeah.
Like obviously Everton did it and then Arsenal and City did it, but they are maybe in different positions to Spurs. It just kind of gives teams a bit more motivation,
belief,
thinking that they can do it. I also was really impressed with Lena Gooding-Williams when she came on. Jessie, we were saying that we don't really get to see much of her, and she was really, really bright. I think the cross that she put in for Tamberg was really good, and they should have scored to be honest.
But her pace, and I think Koga is really fast, but Lena Gooding-Williams was really putting the burners on. It was nice to see her get like a solid 30 minutes or so and actually see what she can do in a wider game context and like being brought on to sort of as a Hail Mary. So yeah, I don't think the losses should be too dispiriting to Spurs, but obviously it's very, very handy for Chelsea.
Yeah, especially after Sonia's contract extension, which came after the
Real
Man City
statement,
loss.
yeah.
Apparently it was all organised and sorted out before that, but definitely interesting timing. So yeah, it was extended 2 years on top of her initial 2028 contract. So that's a big show of faith for 2030.
Yeah, we'll see if they manage to win the Champions League in that time. Shall we dip back to Saturday for the match that you squeezed in between every other sporting occasion on Saturday, Maya?
Yeah, I did about 5 hours of Winter Olympics, into the WSL, out into the Six Nations, and then back into the Winter Olympics. Dream day.
Perfect day.
It was a dream day.
Well, how did Leicester Man United fare amongst the highs of like slopestyle qualification?
Not that high. I'm so sorry.
We're thinking it was more of a curling level, are we?
Yeah, it was more curly. Good to see Alicia Lehmann's crazy Medusa hair back in the WSL.
Yeah, with the league has missed her.
Yeah, the league
I've missed her. I just keep willing her to score.
I mean, she looks like she was, she's running through.
She's looking much more dangerous than I expected.
Yeah.
And I remember her being as well.
She's just obviously not particularly clinical.
Lake Como's loss is Leicester's gain, I guess.
That's what they often say.
Still weird to see Ash Neville in a Leicester kit, I will say.
Yeah.
I did get a bit of a jump scare.
I don't think that will ever... There are just some players who are so thoroughly associated with one club that seeing them elsewhere does look weird.
Like, imagine Lotta in a Man City kit.
Oh, no. Bizarre. No.
I think Leicester didn't look as abysmal as they have done at points in the season.
That is damning with faint praise if I've ever heard it.
I think they played well, especially in the second half. They looked like maybe doing something.
Man U, for me, are not looking as exciting this half of the season as they did in the first half of the season.
Which is weird. It feels like they're fading, but they brought in the reinforcements they needed. So I'm quite surprised by it.
They had a good transfer window, actually.
They had a really good transfer window. And I mean, it wasn't just that they were bringing in bodies. They were bringing in quality.
Yeah.
And it does feel a little bit like... Well, I guess it takes any new signing time to bed in, doesn't it? But it does feel like they've lost sort of the thrust that they had at the start of the season.
Yeah. It was interesting to see Shula start. Obviously, she didn't have like an impact in terms of a goal. And then for Turland to come off the bench and score that really, really, really good clinical goal was like, okay, you guys have got seriously good attacking options. You've got Turland, Mallard and Shula.
Yeah.
But they're just struggling to score a bit despite having a lot of the ball.
Well, they're struggling to create. I think if Zigiotti and Jess Park don't manage to create option, there's not a huge amount elsewhere that is being that sort of creative route for them, or is it? So, mind you, just need Zigiotti to smash in a few crosses.
Well, exactly, yeah.
Well, also we saw earlier in the season probably Sandberg and Jade Riviere getting up the pitch loads and putting loads of crosses in, which I didn't really notice so much yesterday. Obviously, Sandberg did a bit more, but
it feels like they're sitting back a bit more, doesn't it? They're playing a bit more, which I think is also where part of the difficulty creating is coming from, because the team feels a bit more stretched. Like they're not all as free flowing as they were at points earlier in the season.
I would say they were definitely still in control of this game, but it didn't look, like you say, like that kind of creative display. Jade Riviere, who I thought was such a bright light for them in the first half of the season, wasn't actually starting, so they've obviously had a bit of a shake up with their transfer window. And like you say, she was getting really high up the pitch, and I didn't notice Hannah Lundqvist doing the same sort of job in the first half. But I guess maybe that is, the shuffle that happens once you bring in lots of kind of first team players. But yeah, I mean, a win for them. So they've continued to close the gap between them and Man City.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wonder how they're going to look against one of the other big four in this sort of phase of their season.
Yeah, it could be difficult. It's a loss that takes Leicester City to the bottom of the table. The relegation battle is heating up. Everton's stake to claim with a 1-0 win over London City Lionesses, which was followed up with maybe the cattiest tweet that we've seen all season from a WSL admin.
oh my God.
What was it?
It was absolutely incredible. They tweeted when the sort of full-time match graphic, it was a feeling money can't buy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Like,
Sizzle.
absolute. Just, I felt like they've been sitting on this and wanting to use it, haven't they? But London City Lionesses they just could not. They had so much possession, so much attack. They something like 20 shots. I mean, not many of them on target, but so many shots. I was really surprised by how many shots they were firing from outside of the box. Everton, I looked it up afterwards because I was watching the highlights. I was like, wow, it feels like this is really sort of last-ditch defending at points. 40 clearances from Everton.
Oof,
Wow.
that's crazy.
I didn't see the number of saves from Courtney Brosnan, but it was another one of those where it's just pulling save out of a locker. Ruby Mace was like the goal line clearance headers extraordinaire.
When I last checked, she was like first in the WSL for clearances, and it's obvious that's continuing. But I think definitely the two keepers were the main characters in this game. Like Courtney Brosnan saved Everton's arse so many times, and then Leto made one really good save as well.
Scott Phelan, the interim head coach, he said a really, really interesting thing in the post-match. Like, it's not just about winning, it's like about winning and showing off the quality of these individual players. And I think it probably sounds like he's trying to give them a bit more space to do their own thing rather than fit so rigidly into a system.
That'll be interesting to see because I think he's staying until the end of this season. So it'll be interesting to see this Everton team play in whatever style he's bringing, or like have a bit more creativity, flexibility.
I can't say that I'm hoping that it goes super well for them. I would like a little bit more ease in the relegation battle, considering every time we lock in, West Ham managed to lock in as well. Really quite irritating.
Yeah, West Ham had quite the game on Sunday. I think Vivia Say obviously heard me last week saying...
I love it when they do that.
Yeah. I love it when they do that. But she was just looking great. I mean, total star of this match, making things happen and just being relentless in her pursuit of a goal, which she got in the 91st minute to win the game after coming back from 2-0 down to Brighton. And then West Ham scoring 3 goals in 9 minutes, I think.
Yeah, it was insane.
Which is just insane. I think, that shows a lot of character to come back from that scoreline. And Rita Guarino seemed really, really pleased with the confidence that the players showed to come back from that kind of position.
Even when you were 2-0 down, it wasn't like West Ham were crap falling apart and then had to recover.
Exactly. I think the Brighton goals were disappointing because they were kind of against the run of play. Like that Kiko Seke wonder goal was just like, okay, fine. Madison Haley as well scores a screamer. And then basically every goal in this game was a screamer. I thought, Fionn Morgan, after scoring as well, you see her kind of turn to her teammates and go, that was a cross.
The little cheeky smile she's doing, like...
Really, really funny. But it was kind of those individual defensive errors from West Ham in the first part of the game to concede. And then, I thought Katie Zellum as well. What a great signing for West Ham, just adding...
Just composure.
Composure and her passing as well, her vision to set up some of those players for goals was really, really good. And West Ham have Everton next week, so that's a really, really big game.
Proverbial 6-pointer, that one.
Proverbial 6-pointer. So that will be an exciting weekend.
Unrelated to the football, Rita Guarino just really looks to me like someone who would keep sweets in her pockets for her nieces and nephews. I don't know why she has that energy of like, you go see her and she'd be like, oh, here's a Werther's. I don't know why.
Maybe not a Werther's, but some kind of Italian pastel.
Oh, well, one of those little violet pastels, but who knows, maybe I'm wrong, but you locked in and we locked in. Poor old Villa. Happy birthday to me, thank you very much, Liverpool. I'm not used to this level of scoreline and good play this season. What's happening?
My first note is, Jessie, what has happened to your team?
Oh my god, these players have changed my life. This is just, absolutely fantastic. I honestly, I don't know, how do you talk about a game where Liverpool have played well? But
that's not true though, because I think you have played well in quite a few games, it just hasn't been going your way.
I guess consistently, and it works out. And I'm used to coming in and being like, we played really well, and it didn't work. And now it's like, it's
really come off.
It's clicking.
Mia Enderby again has clearly been listening, and she is responding positively to my negging. So we will continue this. Some of the goals she's scoring these days are goals I think last season I would have absolutely put money on her to not be able to take, but she's just feeding off the confidence. I'm loving this run of games that Bernabé is getting because the connection she's building with Kerry Holland, who is just absolutely... I think she's making a strong case for our player of the season, to be honest.
She's so underrated as well within the WSL.
So underrated, such a hard worker. Like, leaves it all out on the pitch every single match and is just create a danger in her own right, creates so much for other people. Fantastic.
She's like your Kim Little.
Yeah, no, she is.
She really is. Yeah, she's such a linchpin for that side.
And so reliable. Martha Thomas's goal was worth whatever the loan fee was alone.
I loved it.
Absolute madness.
Oh, amazing.
There's no way that a keeper would prepare for that kind of...
I just think Martha Thomas, we were talking about this yesterday, she's such a confidence player. And you can really see when when that starts waning, like when she was at Man U and she lost confidence, and then she came to Spurs, she's really confident, and then she kind of lost that because she stopped getting minutes when Beth England came back from injury.
Yeah.
And then she never really delivered after that. It's when she knows that she's wanted and people are happy to have her in the squad and she's getting those minutes. She can do stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we just often don't see it.
And she looks like she really is enjoying being at Liverpool.
Yeah.
And all of them collectively, it seems like there's just a really good vibe in the squad at the minute, which I think is what we needed to see us through the difficult patches until the game plan started paying off as it has now. I think the next challenge will be, and Gareth Taylor brought it up in his post-match, was, okay, we know how we like to play now, but we need to have the confidence of then when we go ahead to keep playing like that, because we kind of, when we were protecting, especially with Villa getting a goal back through Miri Taylor's incredible goal, we then sort of reverted a bit back to, let's just clear it, let's just smash it, let's just put it long and clear it. And actually, no, the way we're playing is better than that. Let's have the confidence to like see games out playing like that. But oh god, it's so nice to be off the bottom of the table.
Welcome.
Very pleased for you, and great to see screamers from everyone in your team. Basically, Shilag scoring as well.
First goal in the league. I mean, honestly, we'll come on to it later in the episode, but what a transfer window. After a weekend of football, I think it's time to pick out our latest screamers of the week. Who wants to go first?
Me? I'll go first.
Yeah.
So my top two are, maybe unsurprisingly, Martha Thomas, goal from the floor.
Yep.
Just because I thought it was so fun. You don't see those that often.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And my other one was Ziggiotti's cross,
Yeah.
which did find its way into the goal, because I love Ziggiotti.
Yeah.
And no one, including her, expected that to be a goal.
I feel like she, at the back of her mind, was like, this might go.
Maybe, but she was definitely crossing.
Yeah, I just think after the Olympico, I feel like she's just always got it in her bag.
Yeah, she's like, I guess this is what I do now. But I think for the charisma, uniqueness, nerve and talent, I will go for Martha Thomas's goal from the floor.
Well, I cannot believe we're going to have a situation where there's going to be two Liverpool screamers in contention, because unsurprisingly, I'm also throwing one in the mix. Grace Fisk.
Yeah, the volley.
Captain Grace Fisk has changed my life. But everything about that, I mean, we've not really been in danger from set pieces this season, but Jenna Clark just causing mayhem by being so imposing in the box, and then this perfect, like, chested assist to Grace Fisk, who hits it so cleanly on the volley.
So sweet.
Nice, it was nice.
Stuff dreams are made of.
What are you going for, Anna?
That's a great choice. Definitely Liverpool screamers all round, and Miri Taylor a screamer. I've got to shout that out.
Goal, yeah.
West Ham, I thought, scored great goals, but I am going to go against them today and choose Kiko Seke, because I think
that was good.
Her kind of wonder chip, whatever that was just really, really kind of cool decision.
Yeah.
And perfectly executed. Like, there was just no chance for Shemek to do anything with that. So fair play, Kiko. And some points for my fantasy. So love you, babe.
That's all that matters at the end of the day. We'll put the clips of those goals up on Instagram if you've not seen them, and then you'll be able to vote on Spotify and Instagram stories for your Screamer of the Week.
So since we last recorded, the transfer window has closed for business. Quite exciting transfer window this winter, actually. So a couple of last minute signings. We've got the first ever Slovenian player in the WSL, which is very exciting. Zara Kramzar has joined Everton from Roma.
God, it really looked like they were not going to get that over the line.
I know.
As well.
That was the last signing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Of the window. Arsenal have signed another goalie. London City Lionesses signed a midfielder from Denmark, Malu Marsetto, 22-year-old. Quite exciting. But yeah, I think it has been a really exciting transfer window. Lots of business. Not so much at Arsenal, but...
Yeah, I mean, how would you rate Arsenal's approach? Because it didn't feel like going into the transfer window, they needed to be doing a lot of spending.
In the summer, so many of our players are out of contract.
Yeah.
Almost everyone, really. Yeah. Or at least everyone from the old guard. Yeah. From the Joe Montemuro days. They are still hanging on.
Who knows, next season there might be only 6 of them left.
So I think they have been in their comms preparing us all, and it's obvious that there is going to be a big shake-up in the summer.
Yep.
So I think this wasn't really their focus.
Yeah.
I think I'm really happy Smilla Holmberg's come. I think she's a really good signing. But I didn't expect us to have a really busy window, to be honest, because I think, the plans are all pointing towards the summer.
It feels like, it was a like preparatory window.
Exactly.
I mean, the news came out. I don't know, is it confirmed now that Katie McCabe, there's no contract extension on the table?
I'm not sure it's confirmed, but I think it's strongly.
Yeah. And then there's all of the rumours of the work going on behind the scenes on the Georgia Stanway deal. Yeah, it felt like a window where we don't need to act other than a future-proofing sign into Holmberg, and then can just build up to the summer and deal with the many, many departures that may be coming.
But you've been very busy.
I know I'm biased, but I think we might have had the best transfer window.
I agree.
I think you and Spurs.
Yeah.
And maybe United I would put into that mix as
that's
well.
true.
Yeah. But I think, we were all quite disappointed with the summer and the transfers, even though Beata Olsen did prove to be like a diamond that none of us really were aware of. But I think you can tell over the course of the first part of the season where the players are all getting to grips with the new game plan, the new style of play, and then you can see, okay, what are the bits we need to plug? And I think every signing has, apart from Josendal, who we've not been able to see because it's getting back up to fitness, I think every player, but we needed pace on the wing and a defensive thing, defensive stability there as well. Bergstrom gives us that immediately. We needed more bite in midfield and someone with a bit more composure and leadership. Denise O'Sullivan gives us that.
Mm-hmm.
We needed better options in goal. Jennifer Falk gives us that. We needed somebody who could be a game changer across the front line. Sheila gives us that. I mean, you can tell the plan for every single one of these transfers. The one that confused me the most was, not confused me, but the one I was most surprised about was the Martha Thomas signing.
Yeah.
Because it feels like we had quite heavy ranks now in the forward line. But then, Leanne Kiernan moving out on loan frees up that space. She is a very different kind of forward, I think, to what we have. So... yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing. It just feels like a really positive now, like tilt towards the end of the season.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
About West Ham, how are you feeling?
Yeah, for West Ham, I think the two really big name signings are probably the most exciting for me to see.
Mm-hmm.
Tuva Hansen coming in to shore up the defence is definitely a really good thing for West Ham. I think we needed more options there, obviously with Denton going out as well. And then some other kind of on and off injuries. And then Katie Zellum, I really, really enjoyed watching her at the weekend. And I think that's a player that West Ham were really lacking.
Yeah.
So excited to see more of her.
Again, it feels like there was a gap, as you said, in defence, but also in the midfield of like threading actually the team together, which I think is what Katie Zellum will be for you.
Yeah, like you have Minnie Gorry to do that kind of box-to-box stuff a bit. Like she works so hard, runs so much, and she can take a great shot from outside the box. But I think sometimes her vision isn't like quite as well developed as Zellum. So I think some of the passes Zellum made this weekend to set up some really good moves were outstanding. So that's exciting.
Man United have had a really good window, and they needed depth and they needed star quality. And then in Leah Schuler, they've brought in the star now, and then in Van Geheim, they've brought in the star for the future, and then also throwing in Hannah Lundqvist, who I think is just really fun to watch. So they've had a really good window. Spurs have had a really good window. Gapset feels like almost like wasn't part of the transfer window because it was so long ago. I keep forgetting. It's like, oh no, that was part of the transfer window technically, but as a like singular signing is probably the one that I think all of us were quite jealous of because we loved watching her at the Euros, and adds into 4 or 5. I think Blackstad was another great signing. Hamano on loan I think is a great signing for Spurs. So very good business.
Yeah, it's tough to see Hamano not really get a look in still though, even at Spurs. So that move might not be working out for the best for her and for Chelsea and for Spurs, but it just shows how well the other players are doing, like the players who already were at Spurs who have been working so well under Martin Ho, and then obviously the reinforcements that we're seeing with Galpser, who's obviously slightly more defensive, but hard for Hamano to get a look in. Yeah,
it was kind of a low risk option for Spurs, wasn't it? Because if Hamano comes in and is fantastic, brilliant, but also they have a plan with the players that they've signed permanently, so it also if she doesn't get break into the it's more for her and what it does for her preparation for the internationals in March. But moving outside of actual football transfers, if you were gonna, given that we're all obsessed with every other sporting occasion that happens under the sun, that would be quite fun. If you were gonna sign a non-footballer for your club, who would you look to bring in?
I have a long list of signings, not just for West Ham, but just for the league as a whole. I want these athletes in the WSL.
Yeah,
please. Okay, so I was looking a little bit at the WNBA. I want Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese because rivalry.
The
and then I want Paige Beckers and AZ Fudd because lesbians.
Yeah. They are like the swaggiest lesbian couple as well.
They're so cool.
It needs to come and like shake up what's in the WSL currently. Leah Williamson has really leveled up in the swag stakes over the past year or so.
That is true.
Do need to inspire a few more. Who else is on your list, Donna?
I was looking at the tennis girlies a bit. I have a massive soft spot for Amanda Anisimova.
Mm-hmm.
I love her, and she's like really on the rise at the moment. So I think she'd be a great character to pull in. Daryl Nita as well.
Oh yeah.
Love
fun,
her.
yeah.
Obviously, she brings the pace
Yeah.
as a sprinter.
What about
But
Dina?
also, she's been seen at Chelsea women's games.
Oh really?
So she's obviously a fan of the footy.
I think we should get Dina Asher-Smith in.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She's amazing. She's such a girly as well. I think
Yeah.
she'd slot in nicely.
Well, all of the Team GB sprinters are, aren't they? They're all just like they've got such hun energy.
Well,
They're just
I loved
lovely.
Dina
Yeah.
Asher-Smith had a poll on her Instagram a couple of weeks ago where we could like vote what hairstyle she should do next for the Diamond League, which I loved.
That is
More
I was just
WSL
like,
players to do
yeah,
polls on
exactly.
their
More,
hairstyle.
at least Lehman do a poll so I can be like, no more Medusa.
no, she knows what she's locked in for life. You don't have a hairstyle like that if you're, susceptible to
You
criticism.
also don't become the most followed women's footballer
Yeah,
without the Medusa. So, who am I to say?
yeah, very true.
I've got more. I've got a couple more fun ones. Can I just get them out of the way?
Get them out of the way.
Hannah Bottoman.
Yes.
Rugby, vibes, character, fun, singing, dancing. We got to get her in somewhere.
I thought you would throw Ellie Kildunn into the mix, actually, Maya.
Oh, she's already signed.
Oh, sorry.
I feel like she would be just such a fun football player. Also, she's a massive football fan. And
Are you
she
talking
grew
about
up.
Hannah or Ellie?
Sorry, Ellie.
Ellie, yeah.
She's a massive football fan and grew up playing football and then just got into rugby, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bring
so
her back.
Bring her back. A bit of a rogue one after recent events, but kind of want to pull in Lindsay Vonn for her ACL insanity. Probably not
She
a
might struggle
lesson,
now with
not
the
a
fracture.
lesson in how to deal with injuries, but
Well, I mean, the crash wasn't necessarily to do with the lack of ACL. It
No.
was ramming into a
Maybe
gate
she should
at
come and
100
do
miles an
like
hour.
mentality workshops rather than actually be
Yes.
on the pitch.
yeah,
I
love
mean,
that.
all of those downhill skiers are just absolutely nuts.
Yeah, I mean, she is not.
But every single one of them was introduced like, yeah, and so this skier, she shattered her shin last
Yeah.
year, and this one's come back
Great
from
to
breaking.
see her back from her broken spine in 10
Broken
places.
whole entire body.
Yeah, just ruptured every single organ in her, but she's down here setting her personal best. Like, there's a whole workshop they could all do for like, when the girl is like, oh, I've got a little bit of calf strain.
Okay, I'm going to finish my list with two more.
Yeah.
I want Rebecca Andrade,
Oh,
the gymnast,
yeah.
Brazilian gymnast.
Yeah.
I think she's just
Yeah.
like, she would be a bit of a magician on the pitch. I think showing that Brazilian flair, which
Yeah.
I always love when watching her gymnastics. And then Abby Pulling, racing driver, who was actually also at the Spurs game the other day. She's a massive Spurs fan. So we love
Can join
players
Team
who
Tambo.
are actual fans of their teams. So those are my girlies I want to bring
That is
to
a
the
very
world
good
famous
list.
WSL.
I did not have nearly as expansive a list, but I had a few names I wanted to chuck in. I mean, my entire personality at the minute is Winter Olympics, and especially the women's ice hockey. I want all of the shirts, but especially Sweden and Japan. I want to go watch it live. It is incredible. But I always think, specifically for Liverpool, quite a lot of our players are quite dainty and light, and they get bodied off the ball quite easily. Like we have a few. I mean, no one's knocking Kerry Holland or Gemma Bonner off the ball, but a few of them are just a little bit dainty, a little lacking in physicality. So I want to bring in just one of the Swedish ice hockey team because we are just
Some muscle.
present.
That's a great shout.
And specifically, I want to bring in Sarah Hjalmarsson because in every game that I've been watching, she's the one who's kind of stood out to me. I'm sure actual ice hockey heads will tell me there's reasons there's other players who would be better picked, but I just very calm, very strong, and I feel like weirdly ice hockey players would be very good at like retaining the ball and using their body to shield for it. So
Yeah.
Gazball's still on the cards.
Love that. You can take Hannah Bottoman as well
Yeah.
for your kind of sturdy defence.
Also, I feel like we really need a pints man at Liverpool is what we're missing. So,
So
Hannah
true.
Bottoman can come in and be that. But yeah, we're on a Scandi spending spree. So I think
Yeah.
bring Hamashin. My other option was Yaroslava Mihuchik, the high jumper who set the world record last year and then won the gold at the Paris Olympics. Because can you imagine the set pieces you could do with a high jumper? Can you imagine? Like, oh my God, it's Mihutic with a Frosby flop at the back post. Anna Hampton is stunned.
Frosby flop.
Like, how incredible that would be. I would clean up on Screamers of the Week every single week.
It's that time of the week where we check in on the Woso Community Noticeboard and bring our news and fun tidbits from across the world of women's football. Jessie, what have you got for us today?
Well, I realised we haven't talked about it because it dropped quite unhelpfully about 6 hours after we released our episode last week. But the new proposals for the Women's FA Cup, because we apparently want to kill the magic of the FA Cup for women's football.
Boo.
So if you've not seen the news, these are not necessarily going to happen. The FA is apparently, they're in consultation, but they could decide to bring them in as soon as next season. But the changes kind of boil down to there will be 4 seeded teams in the FA Cup every season, would be the top 4 from the previous season's WSL. No teams from Tier 7 at all involved. And then like a bracket system rather than just the draws and the head-to-heads we have, so that you can see the path through to the final from the point that the WSL teams join in the last 32. Why are we trying to change the FA Cup to make it more and more suited to WSL teams?
Why have they said they're doing it?
So their line, according to documents disseminated with clubs early this week, the FA state the top 4 seeding is a temporary measure and that the proposals will create the highest chances of consistent high-quality matches throughout the later rounds of the Cup. Because that's what everyone's saying when they want the FA Cup. It's like, oh, I wish there was more City United games. I wish there was more
This is so weird. Like they seem to have completely misunderstood like the USP of the FA Cup is that it's not that.
Yeah.
And every other competition is that.
It's like everyone's criticism of the League Cup is that it's just the same teams over and over again. And everybody loves these mad runs. Like we were saying a couple of weeks ago that we hope that Oxford get a really nice draw so they can have a good 5th round match. Like, how have they missed what people love about the FA Cup so much?
That is such an own goal. I'm sorry. That's really bizarre.
Well, it's already getting a lot of pushback from clubs.
I saw the Arsenal Women's Supporters Club did a statement yesterday.
And down the league as well. I think apparently only one Tier 7 club was consulted.
That's appalling.
For a change that is going to have the biggest ramifications for Tier 7, because it's, obviously as fans, we love the experience of seeing all these different teams, but it's such a financial asset for these clubs. I think it was South London women have, by getting to the first round proper, so you get, I think it's something like if you win the preliminary qualifying, you get like £150 and then 300 and it scales up throughout qualifying. And then I think it's £1,000, maybe a bit more for the first round proper. South London have got £20,000 over the last 2 seasons from getting to the first round. For a Tier 7 club,
it's massive, yeah.
It's huge.
And we're just going to take this lifeline away for what? So that the top 4 in the WSL can get to the final more easily.
It's just really weird because it's like genuinely the only thing that sets the FA Cup apart from any other competition in the women's game is that it has teams down all the way down to Tier 7 in.
Yeah.
Like it's the only competition where we get to see like Oxford United or like someone one of our friends was saying yesterday that they saw Reading play at the Old Spotted Dog ground. Like that just doesn't happen in other competitions. So it's just so weird that that's the thing they've pinpointed to be the thing that needs to change.
Yeah, it feels like a marketing exercise.
I think the FA have said that they think this will strengthen the FA Cup's commercial potential.
I just think the legacy of the FA Cup as a brand, the cup, let's be honest, the cup that needs fixing is the League Cup. That's the one that is I can't imagine is as big a draw financially, commercially for sponsors, because what is it?
Exactly, yeah.
But everyone, the FA Cup is such a prestige. It might be that a lot of that is ported over from the men's game, but
that still remains the case. Yeah,
it's the premier competition, and it might be the case that every season there's only been like 4 teams that have won it in the past 10 years. But when Man U got to the final for the first time, it was really exciting because it was a shake-up. When Spurs got to the final, like people love seeing teams, even if they are still WSL teams, outside of that. And I just don't think any of these, like no one cares about having high-quality matchups.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as well, not just that prestige from the men's side, but also for a lot of women's footballers, it is the competition to win, with the history of it being the only women's football game broadcast on TV.
Yeah.
Once a year, if you get to that final, that's your time to show the whole country what you can do, what you're about. And so I think as well, it's just like Just boo.
Yeah.
Why are they doing
Big
this?
boo.
Big boo.
Well, my notice actually is, did you notice yesterday at Arsenal, it's part of the block by block thing, which is that all the players get to select their goal song.
Yeah.
Which is why we didn't hear Freed from Desire when Olivia Smith scored.
I clocked that. I thought maybe they just left over like the playlist from the Champions Cup. I'm like, well, this is fun. Let's play this.
No, so they've all chosen their own song that they want to be played if they score.
Oh.
So I'm coming to you to ask, what song would you want played if you scored at the Emirates?
Oh, that's a good question. Oh, I mean, my gut instinct is in any time I'm asked about songs is just something by Pulp. I'm sure there's something by Pulp that I would love.
Okay, yeah, Pulp.
Yeah.
I think mine is going to be Bad Bunny's Sapphire.
Nice, okay.
And I want everybody in the crowd twerking.
I've just imagined having like actually the opening section of Berghain by Rosalia. Can you imagine that coming on after you score? The intense strings.
So epic. My other question around this is, I'm sure everyone has to pick a song. So probably the goalkeepers have picked a song as well, because just in case, you never know.
I want to see the list. Anyway, the best one that I've heard, which was honestly Suki's first answer straight out of her mouth, which I'm now absolutely obsessed with someone choosing, and this is my formal appeal to all of the Arsenal girls. Please consider this. I want to take you to a gay bar. I'm sorry, but how good would that be?
That is iconic.
Who do we think would be the most likely to pick that? Who do we think?
Maybe Leah can really like close the loop on like becoming really public with Elle Smith. Like, just go for it.
Yeah, just fully lean in. It's not. You're not going to get Katie or Caitlin picking that, I don't think.
No, I know, it's so boring.
They're going to have some like horrendous club banger, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like, I await the next Katie McCabe free kick just to see what absolute Ibiza trash she's picked.
Justin Bieber.
Well, that's the formal appeal lodge, so Arsenal, get on it.
Honestly, if you want to sign the petition, head to our Instagram.
Oh, we're setting up a petition, are we? All right. Cool, I'll get over the Google Forms. My last little one for the noticeboard is sort of linked to the transfer window stuff. But did you see Durham tweeted on the final day of the transfer window the clip of Kate Garraway from Celebrity Traitors, and it was like when the recruitment department asked you to log back on late at night, maybe there's been a recruitment. It was like the perfect use of that clip.
Well done, Durham. My final little thing to add is a really nice small story, which is that Wales international Maria Francis-Jones is heading to Wrexham. In doing so, she becomes the first player in Adran Premier history to be transferred for a fee between clubs in the same division.
Oh, wow.
So things are happening in Wales, guys.
We're going to have to add going to a Wrexham game to our list.
That's all for Screamers this week, but come back next week when we go over the first games in the Champions League playoffs and WSL action as always. But until then,
follow us across Instagram, TikTok and YouTube at screamers_pod to sign our petition, or you can email us at screamerspod@gmail.com
to add your thoughts to the petition. And please follow, rate and review us wherever you're listening right now so we can reach even more women's football fans.
Bye.
Bye.